Welcome to Gemini Rise. Welcome to Gemini Rise. Well, we're going to be talking about the duality of emotions. My name is Celena.
And I am Zen Celena.
And we're going to get right into it. So, now we're going to get into understanding duality of emotions. What does duality of emotions mean to you, Zen?
Definitely having two feelings at once. Normally it would be opposing feelings, so they're going to be on both sides of the spectrum, but you are feeling them at once. So it can be overwhelming, but I think we've all dealt with it before.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Like duality is like feeling like multiple or opposing emotions all at once. So usually like sorrow and happiness, or anger and disgust, like feeling those emotions and feeling them all at the same time. That's what duality of emotions is. So certain situations that you can go through where you can feel those opposing emotions at once. What are some examples you would say?
I have two off the top. My first one has to be when I was pregnant. I have a 6-year-old daughter now, but while I was pregnant with her, I felt a lot of emotions, as any parent or any mom would understand, but definitely I was look at the worm.
I'm sorry.
Look at the worm. Look at the worm.
Get him! Get it!
I wish y'all could see what we see right now.
That's a bird literally trying to get a worm, and he ran away from his food. That worm about to be. Okay, anyway.
So definitely one example would be for me when I was pregnant. I felt a lot of emotions, as any mother would know, but I was joyous and I was thrilled that I was welcoming a new life into the world. But at the same time, my body was changing and my mind was changing, and I was getting into that mama mode. But I think more so it was the physical, noticing the face swelling, the nose swelling, the ankle. So you kind of didn't necessarily like how you looked during your whole pregnancy, especially towards the end, but you knew what joyous things were about to happen. So I teetered with those emotions often.
Yes. I definitely understand that. I know I haven't been pregnant yet. I do want to have a kid, and I thank you for sharing that, because it's like I know kind of what to possibly expect, going through that situation. I would say like certain situation that I've recently gone through is like, going through a grieving period, like losing someone that's, close in your family, and just, seeing that dynamic of like, going through like anger, sadness, but also having that gratitude because you experienced this person throughout your life, and like just, seeing how the family is, like, you wish and sending your well wishes towards, your family, because it's not easy losing someone that you grew up with, especially in my younger years. So that's definitely some conflicting emotions that you can go through when that happens. But also there's positive conflicting emotions. I would say positive situations where you can feel different emotions. So say for example like marriage, you can be happy, and the next moment you're gonna be sad, crying, but it's like a happy cry. It's like you're going through those emotions. So that's understanding the duality of emotions. So we talked about what duality is and kind of gave y'all some examples of what certain or common situations you can go through to feel opposing emotions or certain emotions all at once. So now let's get into the psychology or the psychological perspective when it comes to your emotions. Okay, so the psychological perspective. So Robert Plutchik, forgive me for messing that man's name up, but he's a doctor or a psychologist, and basically he has this wheel of emotions. I'm gonna put it on the screen right here, and his wheel of emotions show how different emotions can intensify. So say for example there's annoyance, and annoyance intensified turns into anger, and then anger intensified turns into rage, and it's different emotions just like that. And then on the opposite side, usually for anger, I associate, if you're someone's anger, the opposite of anger usually for me it's happiness, but on his wheel, he's showing that the opposite of anger is fear. So y'all let us know what y'all think about that. So what do you think about the wheels, and like, do you think it was spot on, or any key takeaways from like his little wheel of emotions?
Yes, I do, and I think that a lot of it made a lot of what I feel on a day-to-day basis, especially with a lot of trauma that I dealt with coming up. It kind of puts a why to my, I won't say my what, but it explains why. We are great with taking feelings that we feel and masking them. And even if we don't know we're doing it, we do it. So seeing this wheel, and if you guys want to take and do further research into that wheel, take and print it out, have it. When you look at it and start applying it to your life, like, you can really start saying, okay, ooh, I do this, but it's probably this. And if you really get honest, you'll start seeing that's exactly what that was. So it's a lot that I've taken away from the wheel, with just me personally, and I'm sure Celena too, but you just have to be honest with yourself.
Yes, very honest.
It's spot on. I won't lie. A lot of it is very spot on.
Yes, like when I was looking at the wheel, I was just like, okay, this makes sense, because like the whole like intensifying of emotions, I don't think it was new, but I think he was able to verbalize it in a way that I understand it. Like, it was just like, oh, if he breaks down emotions, like it's levels to this stuff, like literally levels. So I thought that was kind of dope to kind of understand. And the funny thing is that I was a psych major in school, and maybe I wasn't paying attention. Maybe the teacher did discuss that. I don't know. But it was just nice to kind of like look at it again, if I did look at it before. But it was just nice to kind of like just refresh your mind and all that good stuff. So now, moving on. So, impact of our daily lives. Like, how does our emotions, or how do we deal with having multiple or maybe conflicted emotions in our daily lives? Like, how does that look like to you?
I feel like a person would be lying if they say that they didn't deal with it at least once a day. Even if you're by yourself, even if you're not around anyone, I feel like you at least exhibited this once every day.
Right.
And it could be something so simple as, deciding what to eat. Say, like with me, I'm trying to go meat free. So on one side, whenever I go and get something that is meat free, I'm like, okay, yay, I'm doing the right thing.
Yes.
But then the other side of me is like, but you really wanted that burger, you really wanted them chicken tenders, like. So I mean, it could be on a small scale, or it can be on a grand scale. But I do feel like it is something that we do face every day.
It really is. Like, not emotions. Like, people tend to think that we're gonna just witness like one emotion throughout the day. Like, no, baby. Like, you can wake up on a positive note, set your intentions, but sometimes things happen. We're humans. We go through different things in our life. Sometimes things pop up unexpectedly and have us off of our rocker for a moment. So certain things can happen within our everyday lives that make us get conflicted. So say, for example, you planned on having a free day, you didn't plan on clocking in at work, but then next thing you know, your boss calling you, it's time to clock in, it's time to clock in, it's time to go to work, and it's like, what, bitch? Like, no, I really wanted to have this day to myself, and now you're conflicted, feeling like, I really want to do this job, I'm kind of disgusted. So like, you woke up happy, but now you're conflicted because it's like, I don't want to do this. But that's just one example out of so many. So let's get into how can we manage dual emotions. What are ways that you usually manage dual emotions?
Definitely, I try to start first with just laying it all out. I find that sometimes when you go into it with no plan, you just lay all of your everything out, then you can see, okay, here's what I got, here's what I'm feeling, here's what I'm thinking, and then you can kind of form better.
Right.
But if you're just trying to pick it apart and trying to handle little pieces of it, it becomes overwhelming. So first, I just kind of drop it all. I say, okay, this is what it is. I state the facts about the situation or the matter or conflict or whatever. And then I'll take it and say, okay, well, this is what I'm feeling about it, genuinely what I'm feeling about it. And then I start weeding through, one, is it necessary to even feel this way? Because is this an overreaction? Or is this something that is truly triggering me, or anything else like that? But usually when I take it and put it through that little cycle, or that little whatever you want to call it, it helps me organize it better. And then aside from that, if you are spiritual, or if you are religious, or whoever it is that you speak to, take it to them. Just take it to them. And I know that's a very cut and dry answer, but I mean, a lot of things you can talk through. Yeah, you can actually talk through it. And you know, if you're a believer enough in whatever it is that you are choosing to believe in, I feel like you will get answers. So
Zen touched up on some good stuff. I would say for me, how I usually manage emotions, I'm definitely a big on talking things out, whether it be to myself or just pencil and pen on some paper. Like I have to like talk it out in some form or fashion. It may not be verbally sometimes like a good journal session will do the trick. Or talking to people that you know that can help you, that may not have like a biased like viewpoint or a biased opinion. I think that's super important if you do plan on talking things out. Also, I'm big on movement. Like I love, like if I'm going through a whole bunch of conflicting emotions and I just need to release something, especially if it's negative. I know for me, going to the gym, becoming that muscle mommy, not playing, but
it's coming.
Yeah, right. Like just going to the gym sometimes, just releasing that tension through movement. Sometimes I may not be hard body, because it's not about being a hard body for me. It's just being able to release. So whether sometimes I'll be, you know, lifting weights, or maybe sometimes I'm more so gentle with my body, like doing yoga, doing stretches and stuff like that. So just listening to yourself and do the things that align with you, that's gonna help fill that, release that tension or whatever you're going through. Anything that helps you, trust it and just do it, because you never know how you're helping yourself mentally and it, you know, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all of that. So yeah, those are some techniques that I practice, but I know there's so much more, right? If you're a painter, paint. If whatever that you're doing, do it. If you love music, listen to some music. Yeah. Listen to some good jazz, soothing music, or if you a Larry June fan, if whatever you do, just do it, and you'll hopefully, I pray that you see the results that you've been wanting. So we done that. We talked about managing emotions. So we're gonna get into some games, a little game.
Okay.
All right. So now we're gonna get into, I don't know what to call this, because this is not really a game, but we're just gonna kind of go over some common stereotypes that people love to put on Geminis that I feel, or we feel, that's not true. So what is one or two that come to mind when it comes to, you know, what's true and what's not?
So off the gates, I know that people love to call us bipolar. People call us bipolar. And I do not think that we are bipolar, but I do think that we are able to shift into emotions very quickly. We are very no-nonsense people. Whether you're a male or a female, it's not just a one, it ain't just a one-sided thing. I just know that when we are in situations that we feel like are helping us, we're good. But the minute that we feel like that situation or a person or whatever is not, we'll shift out of it. So you can call it bipolar if you like. We can be very happy. Let us see somebody we don't fool with. We very down here, like, but we are able to bounce quick.
Right.
So to the outside, it looks like it's bipolar, but to us, it makes perfect sense.
Exactly. I agree. That's definitely one of the two that most people commonly think. Like people think that we're bipolar, that we're two-faced, when we're actually just have a dualistic. Oh shit. And we actually have a dualistic nature. I cannot pronounce that word to say my damn life. Forgive me, though. Dualistic nature. And I would kind of just to kind of go off of what you were saying, like people tend to think that we are very scattered brain. Like our mind be here, focused on this, but then our mind can go to that, and our mind can go to this topic, to that topic. Now, would I say that that's a lie all the way? Not really, because I tend to have different things that I get into. Like maybe one moment, I'm over here talking about coding. The next moment, I'm talking about, you know, what to eat. Or the next moment, I'm talking about, you know, something else. But I would definitely say we have. I'm thinking.
Let it find you.
But yes, I would definitely say we have a sporadic way of doing things sometimes, not all the time. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me. Is there anything positive that people say about Gemini? Damn, that's a hard thing.
Spontaneous.
Yeah, we can be very spontaneous.
You are not going to be bored with Gemini. You're not, whether it be a May or a June Gemini, you will not be bored.
Exactly.
With at all. I promise you.
And why they be trying to divide us up? Like, why they be trying to divide May and June as if, like, either way, it's still a Gemini.
Because
like,
you know what? I've heard that the June Geminis be the ones that's
they say that a lot, but I cannot lie. Just looking at what's been going on in the world with Kendrick and Drake, that would be a good example.
Yeah.
He is a June Gemini. He actually has the same birthday as me, June 17th. So that's crazy, right? But nah, but yeah, I think like, you know, May Geminis, the ones that I've come across, you know, I think we're all extroverted to a certain degree, just depending on who we are around. As far as Geminis, like people tend to think that we have like extroverted personality the whole time. But I would say May Geminis may be more so introverted at times. But also I know that I have those moments where I just like to be to myself. I don't know if that makes me introverted, but I definitely like having my solitude time. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to talk to nobody. But when I am outside, I can be that social butterfly. Like that's another one. We can be very socialites. Like when we in good company, when we are around people that we love, that we respect, we can definitely be those socialites. So those are just a couple of common stereotypes, whether it be negative or positive. So good job. Okay, y'all. So we're gonna do this game real quick. So the game is called Name That Gemini. We have 30 seconds to name as many Geminis as we can for 30 seconds. And whoever wins. That's it. That's all you get. You just win. Just claim the title that you won. You get cupcakes.
Ooh! The big backs.
Yeah. Okay. All right, y'all. So we're gonna get into this game real quick. On the count of 3, 2, 1.
Andre 3000.
Prince,
Ice Cube.
Kendrick Lamar,
Trippie Redd.
Tupac,
Don Toliver.
Venus Williams,
Takeoff.
Celena,
Sway Lee.
Zen.
Celena.
Oh my God. Colin Farrell. Did I say him? I think I said him. That was it. All right. Well, that's that. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. But
That was a
anyway.
good last one though.
Right?
That's a great last one though.
But we want to close out because this has been a little fun little thing that we did together. And thank you for doing with this. Oh shit, I can't talk. Thank you for doing this with. So we just gonna close out getting some cupcakes. So happy birthday to Zen.
And happy almost birthday to Celena.
We got some cupcakes, and this is not just for us, but for all the Geminis out there.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
And just shout out to anyone that had a birthday, whether it's in the past, present, celebrate your goddamn. So
Come on.
this is me, Celena,
And Zen.
and we signing off. And thank y'all for joining us in Gemini Rise.
Bye, y'all.